Is it moving? Are those stripes really waves in the grass, or are they stripes on the tiger? Okay? Is this friend or foe? And that's where think comes in. How do we think nowadays in what we do? Well, the thinking are all of those algorithms that we use, the chaos and clues algorithms, okay? Or the many other Menzies algorithms, many other algorithms that are out there. Okay? That's the type 2 thinking, where we've gone beyond, I'm not sure, we've got to apply a little bit of thought. Okay? And then we compare. When Giuseppe Argenzio talks about this, he talks about comparison of that mole that you're thinking about specifically to the other moles or lesions on the patient in front of you. Okay? A patient is not going to have 25 melanomas. Okay? If they've got 25 lesions that all look the same, however odd they are, it's not going to be the case that they have 25 melanomas. That lesion you're looking at, by dint of comparison, is normal. I would take it one step further, or perhaps expand slightly. I would compare across time, not just in situ. If we can compare in situ and compare across time, then we have the full package. And Derm Engine lets us do that. Or imaging generally lets us do that, and Derm Engine facilitates that. Why else? It allows the accurate recording of lesions. Okay, very important. Why? Because we might want to biopsy them or remove them, and it's good to have a recording of what it was. Because patients grow the same things, as I just alluded to, they grow the same things again and again. And often the type of cancer, who here has seen a slightly odd-looking basal cell cancer of a patient, and they came back a year or two later with a similar odd-looking one? It's their signature basal cell cancer, their signature mole, their signature. Okay? It allows personalized medicine. It helps with diagnosis alongside histopathology. Ian, how many photos have I sent you in the last week? So look alongside the slides. I think a couple so far. Two. And it's in a new clinic. Okay. So, and it's helped. I hope it's helped anyway. And it's instant. So Ian will message me in the lab and say, I've got this slide here. It'd be quite helpful to have a look at the clinical and dermatoscopic picture. Could you send it across? And within a minute I can turn it around in Dimension. We can share with each other. The theory was actually, as an aside, to do it in the clinic as well. And so I was going to have Gan and I sending things to each other, and we realised that actually things just go off your arses and walk around the clinic and talk to each other, and much more personable. Okay? But I can't do that with Ian because I'm in Melbourne and Ian's in New South Wales, and we can share across the board. Okay? Not to put you into the crosshairs, Jeff, but why wouldn't you send something that might have polygons to the guy who invented polygons? All right? This gives us the ability to do that. Second bit of clinical diagnosis, as I just alluded to. Teaching, very useful for teaching. Okay? We're talking about increasing or making the standards within the organisation as high as they can possibly be. And we have to teach. Not only that, part of our Hippocratic oath is to teach, not just a doctor. This is vital for teaching. We can't teach by words alone in this area of medicine. Okay. Why else? Patients expect it. Okay. We're meeting patients' expectations. We're not dancing on the end of their strings or puppets to their tune. We're not any of that. Okay. But we are answerable. Patients do expect it. Okay. So, I'll show you a few slides in a second. But if we just go back for a second to the patient's expected part, this also ties into what we're doing. Okay? We are also running businesses. Okay? We are building businesses, in my case, and running businesses, and across the board, Kai's running a bigger business. Okay? And it is based on what patients expect, and they expect something more than they would get from other doctors. We can't call ourselves specialists. We are not plastic surgeons or dermatologists or general surgeons, but neither are we GPs who don't do skin. We sit somewhere in that middle ground, what we call in England a gypsy, a GP with a special interest. Okay? Yeah. That's what we are. And we sit somewhere in the middle. But it's very nice us sitting in a room and saying we sit somewhere in the middle and we're better. Okay? The patients and the population outside who actually are dying of skin cancer because they're not getting checked adequately, they need to believe that. Okay? We have to be better. Okay? So our patients expect photographs when they come to us because they know us. But more broadly, patients expect a better standard, or should expect a better standard of care than perhaps they're receiving at the moment. Okay? You cannot I will show you a case in a second with a GP who's been watching a lesion. How do you watch a lesion? You can't watch a lesion. You can't write down what you're worried about. You have to photograph a lesion. This guy here, we're looking at total body photography. Okay? Where is the suspect mole here? In fact, where's the melanoma? This guy, the melanoma. Where is it? Who the hell knows? Happens to be that one over there. Okay? It was new. Okay? It had appeared. I'll show you this, and I'm going to show you some top quality videos properly produced in a minute, but I'm also going to show you bargain basement videos done on my phone, on my computer. Okay? And that's not because we don't have access to good quality videos, because we have those too. And in fact, we actually had a videographer and a team come out to the clinic to do promotional stuff, so we can do top level stuff. I want to show you real life, how it is for you. So what we have here is, this is actually a Glenunga patient, so thank you, Caroline. We've got a few guns. Oh, Lana, they're pointing at each other. But I can tell it's neither one of them. And this is his back. Okay? And what we have is a feature, one of the several features on Derm Engine, which is what makes it such a compelling and useful tool, which is mole match. Okay? That's automated. Okay? So the question you should be asking yourself is, you should be saying, oh, that's very nice. I had a little gasp, that's very nice. Then your second question should be, or your question should be, what the hell am I going to do with that? Okay? Really, like, honestly, what use really is that? Okay, it's very nice. It's pictorial, and the PhD side of Mariam and Majid in Vancouver jumping up and down to make it happen. They're excited. Okay, but actually, clinically, it's pretty bloody useless. Okay. So what can we do with it? So we can do this. We can decrease its sensitivity or increase its sensitivity. Pick up more, pick up less. And you'll adjust that to the patient sitting in front of you, or to your own sensitivities. Show this one more time. And it's as easy as a slider. They've made it user-friendly. And not just them. The user-friendliness down to how the date of birth is put in, which we don't even have to do anymore, is because we sat down as a group, and especially in Glenunga, and worked out what really worked in real life with this software. What could we really use without delaying our consultation, holding people up? And that's done, like I said, on my phone and my computer. What can we do here? We can go through the moles themselves. From that sidebar, it will tell us where the mole is and show us a comparison from picture 1 at one point in time to picture 2 at a later point in time. Okay? How do we get picture 1 and picture 2? It's as simple as drag and drop. We have a bar at the bottom, and we'll show you this during lunch, and it may be on that video that I haven't even seen yet, which I'll show you in a minute. And you simply drag and drop the photo in. Because I'm not a hugely technological person. Okay? As my wife over there will tell you, and my 13-year-old son will tell you, I've had to get LinkedIn and Facebook, and I really can't use them. I find them really very difficult. Okay? So this, I wanted something simple. I don't want things to interfere with my patient consultation. I don't even type when I talk to a patient, because I can't type and talk at the same time. Okay? I certainly don't want this to get in the way. So what other uses has it got? Okay, this is a real life case. This is a charming, lovely man who's very excited that his forehead is now popular and people have seen it. Okay? So he came in, and the complaint was, actually via his wife, that the cancer you cut out has grown back. Okay? And he does indeed have a lesion there, but luckily, it was completely by luck, he had beautiful lines on his forehead, every one of which he'd earned throughout his years. And it happened that the H-flap fitted into the lines perfectly, so she didn't notice there was an H-flap there, but I had the photograph. Okay? And pictorially, I could show her that, actually no, this is a separate and new lesion that had grown alongside. It was another cancer actually as well. So, very useful clinically to make a point at that time, compellingly to your patient, in a way a picture paints 1,000 words, in that way, but they can't argue. This is a busy slide, I apologise, but I'll run you through it, okay? At the top on the left is a patient that you have fully examined, okay? This is our workflow that we're able to use when we have imaging. Okay? We can look, if you go further to the right, at the lesions you might select for imaging, and slightly smaller in the green over here, you can send for a second opinion. And you get a choice, okay, at that point in time. You get a choice to biopsy it or remove it if you're actually worried about it clinically at the time. Or you get the choice when you have imaging to bring them back for a 3, 4, or 6 month patient review. And at that time, you repeat the imaging and compare, and either you go at this point here to biopsy because you're actually clinically worried about change, or you can go for your normal, back to the normal annual, I've chosen annual, it doesn't be annual, your normal regular check. And you get that choice. Okay? A much less busy slide is this one, the workflow with no imaging. Okay? If you have no imaging, you have no access to that extra ability to do things. Okay? You either take it off or you leave it. Okay? And in all good conscience, you can't say we'll watch it. That's just not possible. Why else is this important? The 3, 4, and 6 month way? Again, this is not about business, but it is about business. We're running an ethical business that saves lives, but nevertheless it is a business, okay? These patients who are not going to scar, we're going to have certainty and give them certainty that they haven't got cancer, and they will come back for repeat consultations for the imaging alone. That is an absolutely vital part of what we offer. We offer the ability to be certain that you haven't got skin cancer, okay? And also to come back in a way that is affordable, but helps build up our businesses too, for patients to get the very best outcome. That's a fairly unusual concept in business, to get all of those ticks. It's a win-win-win-win. But it has to be thoughtful. Okay? I'm not advocating photographing everything. The very last thing you want in a database, and this is what puts some people off, is a photograph of a melanoma. Okay? Who here has photographed a melanoma they didn't take off?
The melanomas when you first photographed them, Johnny.
Yeah.
You didn't recognise them.
That's right. That's exactly right. So Jess said there are melanomas when you first photographed them, and you didn't recognise it. Okay. Well, so to translate that that was my personal failing.
No, it's not. Absolutely not.
No.
Because there are what they call completely featureless melanomas that are similar to other skin melanomas, and only because you did take the image that you have to give that pixel.
Okay, so I'll take a step back, I'll say it a different way. I think the ones when I look back at the photographs at the beginning weren't featureless. Okay, so when I look back at those photographs, then I think with those, so there are 2 types we're saying, that there are featureless melanomas where no one can pick them up. Okay? And then there are ones with features where I look back and I look back at it and I look at myself, and I've evolved as a doctor, and my knowledge has got better, and I think that I could have done a better job in that case. So I do have photographs of melanomas. Okay? But none of us are perfect. Okay? We're all trying harder to get better, which is why we're so much about education. Okay? I want to be the doctor that I would come to, I'd send my wife and my kids and my family to. Okay? It's as the family. So for teaching, as I said before, we want to take images, but we want to be thoughtful in how we use our imaging. We don't want to be, if we can help it, imaging melanomas, retaining that in a database. It's of no use to anybody. Those things should be in a pot. So derm engine, what is it? This is what we'll come back to. Probably should go back onto the script most likely. It's very, very simple. It's this, an iPod Touch, what we're using, which has an 8 megapixel camera, which takes phenomenal photos as you can see, and I'll show you some more, and we'll zoom right into them. And has 64-bit architecture, which I'm told is a very useful thing to have. And a DermLite 4. A DermLite 4, we use these because they couple quite nicely, they're quite easy to hold and easy to use. And I have them all here, so we'll use them during lunchtime. Okay? And tomorrow if you wish, they're with me. Okay? That DermLite 4 simply couples in this manner, magnetically to the back of the iPod Touch. They sit there, you can hold it by the DermLite 4 itself. It's very strong, very sturdy, and we take photographs with it. Okay? It allows comparison. The software allows comparison both of lesion itself and of body part. This is the first